Match.com is one of the oldest dating apps on the planet, but just because it's been around the block a time or two, does that automatically mean it's amazing? We're going to answer that question today in our Match.com review. Here's how we're going to do it. Like we always do, we're going to hit it hard and fast. We're going to give you 3 things we like about Match.com, 3 things we don't like, tell you how much it costs, and ultimately give you our verdict. But before we get started, we have to address the elephant in the room, the legal elephant. In 2019, Match was sued by the Federal Trade Commission for effectively tricking hundreds of thousands of users into purchasing accounts through deceptive and unfair practices. Here's what they were doing. According to the FTC, Match would show you notifications for unread messages that you couldn't read unless you paid to upgrade. Fine, a lot of apps do that. The problem? These matches were coming from millions of accounts that Match had already flagged as fraudulent. So you'd pay to upgrade because you thought you had genuine messages, but they were just fake messages from fraudulent accounts. Yikes. On that note, before we finish our Match.com review, if that already has you turned off, we don't want you to leave empty-handed. There are other dating app options you'll probably like. In the description box below, we've included a link to our list of the best Match.com alternatives. These options take what Match does well without all the bad. If that sounds great, go ahead and check that link out now. With that out of the way, let's dig into our Match.com review. To start, here are 3 things we like about Match.com. Number 1, Match has a track record of over 20 years in the industry. Yes, there's a blemish around 2019, and it's a big one, but outside of that, we can still give them some credit for surviving in this industry for over 20 years. You have to be doing something right to get there. Number 2, Match does seem to have a large membership base of real users based on our tests and research. SimilarWeb shows over 16 million visits to the Match.com website last month, which is considerable and doesn't count people who went straight to the app stores. And number 3, Match does let you see the pictures of your matches before upgrading to a paid account. Most other providers have these photos blurred, but Match lets you see them. Now, some people could make an argument that this isn't ideal from a safety standpoint for paid users, but we think it's something a lot of people are going to like. With that said, let's get into what we don't like about Match, and then we'll talk pricing and share our verdict. As a bit of a spoiler, it might be starting to become evident that we don't think Match is the best option for many of you. Because of that, we wanted to remind you that we do have a link to our favorite Match.com alternatives linked in the description box below. It is definitely worth checking out. Let's look at what we don't like. Number 1 is obviously the legal problems Match.com has had. Yes, they were several years ago and most likely have been cleaned up, but that's a pretty messed up thing to do to your customers, and it's not like the claim is coming from some random person in the middle of nowhere. It's literally from the Federal Trade Commission. We believe in forgiveness and second chances, but that's a hard one to swallow. Number 2, and real quick before we share number 2, if you're enjoying this video and you'd like to support the channel, consider taking 2 seconds to hit the like and subscribe buttons. It does so much to help out the channel. Thank you. Let's get back to number 2. Number 2, some services you have to purchase a la carte. This may be a personal preference, but we like it when you pay one membership fee and get access to all the features the site has to offer. With Match, you have to pay your initial membership fee, and then if you want the extras like read receipts, private mode, or the all users can respond feature, you have to pay extra. For us, this feels like a money grab. And number 3, the platform feels old. We've been reviewing dating apps for the better part of a decade, and Match looks the same as Match when we started, and even the same as it looked years before when we used it. This is just our theory, but Match Group, who owns Match.com, has bought up a ton of other brands like Tinder, Hinge, Plenty of Fish, etc., and it just feels like Match has taken a back seat. It still works, but it needs a facelift badly. To close, let's talk about how much Match.com costs and share our final verdict. Pricing changes frequently, so we've included a link in the description box below to the most up-to-date pricing. For the most part though, a Match membership will run you between $20 and $40 per month, depending on which membership you choose. Additionally, the a la carte add-ons are somewhere from around $3 a piece to about $12 a piece per month on top of your subscription costs. Again, if you want to see the most updated pricing, use the link below. So, what's our verdict? Well, for us, the past legal troubles are just too much to overlook. Sure, Match has helped to put some great people together, but when a company does what they did, it's just hard to get behind them again unless they show you a reason to. For us, we'll pass on Match.com and think you should too. Again though, we don't want you to leave empty-handed. In the description box below, we've included a link to our list of the best Match.com alternatives. You gotta check it out. And lastly, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It takes 2 seconds and it's a massive help to the channel so that we can keep putting out some great content like this. Have a great day and good luck.